Hello everyone, Fuzz here and welcome back to our playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII. So from my perspective, it's been about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks since I last recorded an episode, and I took some time out over the Christmas period. It's the 3rd of January today as of recording this, of the new year, so I thought we'd start to get back into the swing of things. Because I'm using a scheduling feature on YouTube, hopefully you haven't noticed any long gap in between episodes and everything should have just been going up as normal in terms of the episodes. So that's a cool feature I'm using, and it just means that I haven't got to record every day in order to get content to you. I can just upload it all and then YouTube will make it public as and when I choose for it to do so. So today we're going to be continuing on with the Queen of Cards side quest, a very lengthy side quest we've been undertaking throughout most of the game. And as a matter of fact, we can actually complete this quest today as well, so I'm looking forward to doing that. If, as always, you enjoy this episode, don't forget to go ahead and hit the like button on YouTube. That does support me, and I appreciate it all the time, of course. So, if you've been following along, the Queen of Cards should be nicely positioned here in Dollet. So go ahead and save your game. This save point, as always, can only be seen with the Move Find ability equipped. And if you don't have that ability by this point in the adventure, then the Queen of Cards side quest is probably the least of your concerns anyway. So, what are we going to do first of all? Well, assuming you've been following along and done everything that I have done, our next task is to lose another card to her. On this occasion, it's the Alexander card. And if you don't have the Alexander card, we got it earlier on when we was doing the spacey stuff, then you can go and find Piet at the crash site and he will play that for you. So we'll go ahead and play the Queen. If she has extra rules that you're not interested in, then you can try and abolish them if you so wish to do so. For now, I'm just going to stick with the plus and elemental rules, even though plus can be a bit of a nightmare. At least we're only losing a card at this point in time, in this case the Alexander card. And we'll head back to page 1 and play some of these terrible cards as well. And let's see if we can lose this early on. Oh, what a shame. Oh no, we're playing really badly. There we go. So she can collect all our cards, including our Alexander card, along with these Gizuds, which are absolutely terrible and are never played in any game of all seriousness. So the Queen is satisfied with the Alexander card. And then we need to go back to her son, so that we can win it back. What I did just do was reload my save game in order to get rid of that plus rule, because it was a complete nuisance. So the way I did that was I just kept challenging the Queen of Cards, telling her not to mix rules, or that I don't want to play her, over and over until she stopped asking to mix rules, and then the plus rule had gone, and then I lost my Alexander card to her once more. Once you've done that, we're going to head back to the child who happens to be her son, and just moping around down here, and he should carry the Alexander card. Well, he will carry it. Whether he'll play it or not, however, is a bit of a different question, but no doubt we're about to find out. So we'll just go ahead and throw some of these cards into the fray. It's been so long since I've played this game now, I forget which cards I'm actively playing. Let's just go for some Sacred Action. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And no Alexander, so I'll try again. Right, so this kid's playing the Alexander card now, and I've got to tell you, he don't half play slow when he makes his choices. But that's just the way it goes, I guess. Not much we can really do about it. Hopefully we should not have too much of a problem winning this game. And so we have the Alexander card back in our possession here, which is really what we wanted. And now we need to go and get the next card as part of the quest, which we can do immediately. And we're going to head back to the pub. Oh, I apologise, I didn't really make clear. It's the pub we're going to in Timber, not in Dollet, okay? So that's where we need to head to next. So fly the Ragnarok over to Timber, and we can only do this part of the quest if you have lost the Alexander card to the Queen of Cards. Doesn't matter if you've won it back from her son, but you must have lost it in order for the Doom Train card, which is what we're now going to collect, to actually be available. So once you're in Timber, follow my path, and this will take you to the pub itself. And if we head over to the right here, excuse me, and then down these steps, I'm sure you remember the way from earlier on anyhow. We did actually visit this place for quite a substantial part of the story earlier on in the game. And we're just going to head outside to save. So you can do so if you want to, which I always recommend before playing cards. And this is the guy we need to play. He doesn't always carry the Doom Train card, or he doesn't always play the Doom Train card, rather. So you might need some patience, but as long as you've lost the Alexander card to the Queen, then just keep persevering and eventually it will show up in his hand. And stroke of luck there, he actually played it for me immediately, without my having to wait at all, which was pretty exciting, it's got to be said. It looks like we're not going to be taking any cards just yet, but a bit of patience I'm sure will pay off. There we go, that's what we needed, bit of patience. And we have taken the Doom Train card, and it looks like a pretty nice card, couple of aces. But it's also going to be coming into use in terms of card modding, but do not card mod the Doom Train card yet, since it's still going to be part of the side quest. And lo and behold, we're going to be going back to the Queen in order to lose the Doom Train card to her. She's now located in Balamb, at least she is for me. So I'm going to be heading back there now. Remember, when you lose cards to her, she likes to move location. So we're going to head back to the Queen now and lose the Doom Train card. Right, so here we are back at the Queen of Cards, and as usual I'm just going to refuse to play with her until she stops asking to mix rules, and then we can go ahead and play. I am going to try and get the trade rule set up to all though, just because it makes it easier when trying to lose cards to her, or win cards of course if we're going to be playing cards in the region. There we go. And now it's the Doom Train card that we're looking to lose, so we're going to play that along with a bunch of trash. In this case, the Funguar card is going to be our fodder. Now let's put our losing skills into play. So we'll play the Doom Train card in the worst possible position. And haha, what is the Queen going to do now? Oh no. Sometimes her cards are so bad that she plays, it's pretty much impossible not to take any, but it looks like we've managed to do so on this occasion. And there goes our Doom Train card. And now the most important thing is she's going to want to move. And Galbadir is exactly where we want to send her. It's the best location for the end game to keep the Queen, because it is actually the final time she's going to be moving now. So we want to make sure she moves to the most appropriate location. So she might want to go to Dollet, but just reset your game if she does, and send her to Galbadir. I actually made a bit of a dog's dinner of that, in all honesty. I didn't realise, or I forgot I should say, that we actually need to first of all send the Queen back to Dollet, because if we don't do so, she can't give the card to her son. And that's what we need her to do, the Doom Train card. So first of all, we need to send the Queen back to Dollet, and then we need to head back there ourselves to play her son to get the Doom Train card back. So I've had to reload my save game in order to give that card, so in order to change the location that she goes to Dollet, where we are going to be heading to now. Finally back at the Queen's son, and I've managed to get the sucker to play the Doom Train card. That was a complete and utter nightmare in all honesty, but hopefully you won't have to make the same mistake that I made, and you'll just send the queen straight back to Dolly in the first place. But anyway, let's try and get this Doom Train card back in our possession here. That would be a very good plan anyway. It looks like we've done so. There we go. So, we've done the next part of the quest now, and we're very, very close to finishing here. The next location we need to go to is Esther. So we're going to head over there next. Right, so I'm playing against the Presidential Aide in Esther. I'll show you who that is once we finish this game. Hopefully I'm not going to lose it. It's a bit annoying because we don't have the open rule here, and yet the opponent always seems to be able to play as if the open rule were available. But it looks like we should just clinch this game here and take the Phoenix card, which is ultimately the final card we can get as part of the Queen of Cards side quest. And it's this guy just here that you want to play in the Presidential Palace. He's known as the Presidential Aide. And that's actually all we need to do, technically, in terms of the Queen of Cards side quest. We've got everything that we can get from it. The only other thing now that you might want to use the Queen for is spreading rules, abolishing rules, etc, etc. It is possible to get all of the regions to have just the open rule, although that would take a heck of a lot of work, and it's an extremely technical thing to do. But if you want to make life a little bit easier, then you can possibly just do open and same wall as well, which isn't too bad to use in some of the regions, and that will make things a little bit easier. But in terms of actually sending the Queen of Cards to places, there's arguments that can be made to send her anywhere really. But ultimately, we're going to want to send her to the Lunar Gate because that's where she plays most of the common cards. So if you want to do card farming, then that's a good idea to send her there. You can also pay the Queen of Cards if you want to spread rules there, and that will help you abolish other unwanted rules in that region. But, you know, it all depends how deep you really want to keep going with this quest. So in terms of, you know, the spreading of the rules and whatnot. Because we've actually got all the cards that we can get now from the Queen of Cards. But if there's anything else we need to do, then I'll mention it along in the walkthrough. So it's all completely optional at this point now. But anyway, I think I'm going to finish off here with today's episode because my brain has pretty much gone to mush doing these stupid Queen of Cards side quests. I do like the card game in Final Fantasy VIII Triple Triad. I do think it's a lot of fun, but some of the whole manipulating where the Queen goes and who plays what and the trade rules can get a little bit frustrating at times. And there's also another couple of cards that we can get later as well, so we're not done with Triple Triad yet by any stretch of the imagination. But do come back and join me next time. We're going to carry on with more optional side quest content, and we're going to be picking up, I believe, with the Obel Lake side quest, which will start in the next episode and finish. It's not a big quest. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you soon as we continue on with more Final Fantasy VIII. Time for me to go to sleep now. Goodbye.